Windward look. Yeah.
Bucko.
Mine's on.
Yeah, brother.
Grey, grey Sydney Harbour day. Rain, rain, go away.
Eddie's the last place of the year.
We're live.
No.
Welcome folks, Sydney Harbour, a grey, grey day, last race of the year, somewhat old-fashioned relic, Ladies' Day, where partners, wives, girlfriends get to go for a spin to see what their better halves have been doing all summer. With me today in the camera cat, Joan Fury and Steve Quigley, and Michael Chittenden leading the technical commentary.
Hear you through yours, so if you can put yours on.
Guys, you're live. Come on.
Okay.
So troops, it's been raining pretty hard this morning in Sydney, and we do have a few technical issues on the camera cat. Water and electricity not mixing any better than they ever have done, Steve.
No, that's right, Bucko. Torrential rain, torrential, cyclonic almost rain this morning. And no, the camera cat's the worst to wear for it. She's, I mean, we've got to remember we're as professional as we can be, but we're on a limited budget. And anyway, I think we do a pretty good job for what we do. And every now and again, water gets into the system, Bucko, and we have a few hiccups, and that's what's happening today. So I hope the viewers will bear with us. And we've got the intrepid Pat hanging over the bow up there with the one handheld. Our Ronan's down. We don't have a drone today, and many of our other cameras are out of action as well. So bear with us, everybody, and we'll do the best we can.
Yeah. So Jimmy brought us the advanced weather report. He drives over from the vicinity of Wahine Cove in Manly in his own boat to the club here at Double Bay on the southern shores. He reported visibility of how much, Jimmy?
Oh, about 10 metres. If you're lucky, Bucko. I had a few fast ferries come very close, but we got here.
Yeah, and a number of, result of the rain, a number of road closures and other adventures around Sydney today. So the weather situation just got a sort of respectable gradient south-southwesterly, which has tended to be going right with the rain squalls and building and fading and backing on the back of the squalls. Top wind speed's been up around the 20, so a bit of a mixture in the fleet of big and small rigs, Steve.
Yeah, I think there's only two big, maybe three big rigs, but we have Dalzotto and AOL definitely on big, and the rest we'd probably need to keep an eye on. I think the majority of the fleet went small. There was a bit of a pact went round the boat park when it was looking a bit hairy, and they decided in the interests of safety, Bucko, that they would all go little rig, but I think Dalzotto ripped a jib, and not sure about Munster's theory. I think he just decided...
Munster was just having a beer in the bar, and he just looked at it and said, it's big rig now, isn't it? And off he went.
Yeah, I think he's on his own program, and maybe he's, you know, it's the competitive nature. He might be going for the win. I mean, there's a lot of kudos on this, Bucko.
You know, it's a surprisingly competitive event, in fact, over the years, so... For the viewers, it might seem a bit odd, but the boat's with four people and it changes the dynamics a bit. But what we typically see is that the crews who are too light normally are now fully up to weight, and they tend to go better today than they have all year. And,
yeah, that's very true.
Some other things, but
very true.
So the committee's got the AP up, as you can see on screen. Got the anchor in though, and course 6 2 laps. So a 2-lap windward leeward.
2-lap windward leeward, but it's also a 3 boys race, just to add a little bit of flavour to it, Bucko. So again, for the viewers, it's a handicap race, and we've got 3 windward marks. So the idea is that it equalises the fleet. So we should get, in theory, the entire fleet finishing all at the same time. We know that probably won't happen, but anyway, either way, those on their little rig will be happy at the moment, Bucko, because just in front of this rain squall, we've probably got another 12, 13 knots of southwest.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big rig average though, Steve, don't you?
It's hard to know, mate. You know, like it was howling this morning, like, and then, and I think there were some nervous queens. So it's probably less.
Berger did look a little bit nervous walking around the park.
In his spandex shorts.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm sure he's muscled up. But anyway, it's nice to see that it won't be a walkover for the big rigs, let's put it that way.
No.
Hat, drop it and come back here.
Drop it, but don't drop it. So the wind direction a bit unusual for any time of year, well, this time of year in Sydney, but the compass on the back of the committee boat was compass course of 280. A bit of pressure coming in now, and that's pretty much probably been the average wind, maybe a little left of that, 290 perhaps average this morning. Committee's just putting the pin in just near where the camera boat is, so we're in the sort of mouth of Rose Bay and the beat up on that compass heading towards the CBD of the city. So quite an interesting backdrop.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's probably a little bit more left in it. It's probably at the moment, Bucko, but you know, one of the joys of a westerly is the large changes in direction and velocity.
Which particular joys are you talking about?
Well, there's not too much joy today. I mean, even looking out, I mean, out of our rain-blurred view, the viewers will be able to see that when Jimmy brings the boat around a little bit more, they'll be able to see the Harbour Bridge in all its glory, and the city is blanketed in very, very low cloud. Some of the tops of the buildings are no longer visible. So I think, you know, it's an intrepid Queen Day, Bucko.
Intrepid, decrepit. Yes. No, but just historically, you know, the girls enjoy this thing immensely, and after they get over their fears, I think, of getting on the wing and getting a bit of water smashing around, but and the feedback always is from them that they understand why, you know, their blokes go off and go sailing every Sunday, you know. So
yeah, well, just also remember, it's not just the wives and girlfriends and partners of the sailors. We also have quite a few sponsors out here today.
that is also correct.
Yeah, so we've got, one that springs to mind, Claire Kowalski on the Ilve. She was telling me this morning that's her 4th Queen of the Harbour. And I noticed her in the bar earlier with her sister-in-law who's sailing on AOL, yeah.
AOL.
And they were both having a cheeky little red wine, Bucko.
See?
Bit of a heart starter.
Bit of a calming of the nerves,
Bit of a calming of the nerves.
Fair enough.
A nice little Malbec.
Yeah.
So she'll be fine, I'm sure. So do you want to just run through the...
Yeah, so on Ilve we've got Claire Kowalski, who's the sponsor representative for that ship and a great supporter of the class. As you mentioned, on AOL, Cassie Kowalski, sister-in-law. Yandu Helen Springer.
Helen Springer, do we know anything about her background?
From Middle Harbour is what Woody was saying earlier on.
Okay. And somebody you know well on?
Yeah, Lara Quigley on the Kitchen Maker. She's also our resident drone spotter and catcher. Not on board today, but I know she's been very excited because no pressure, Lara, but her sister is she's the defending champion. We're having breakfast this morning, and today was Izzy's last day as Queen of the Harbour, so Lara's very, very keen to get out there and get into it.
Amy Roach on ASCO.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Amy.
Corinne Feldman on Del Zotto.
Now, I know a bit about Corinne. She is Josh Feldman's mother, and she's a very accomplished yachtswoman. Done Sydney to Hobart races from Cronulla. Cronulla Sailing Club. So welcome, Corinne. And Josh was joking he's going to get her to pack the spinnaker. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh well, mother and son relationship will stand up to the
What could
chores.
possibly
I'm sure.
go wrong?
What can go wrong?
See if they're still talking by the end of the race.
Olivia Anderson on Smeg.
I met Olivia last week and again in the park. She is a SMEG representative.
Okay.
I noticed Paul Johnson in the club having lunch as well.
Okay.
So, and she was extremely excited, aka a tad nervous.
Emma Sills on Quality Marine Clothing.
Yeah, Emma is actually Bryce Edwards' wife.
Oh, yeah.
So, and she's a very accomplished sailor as well. Northbridge and Manly graduates, again from the Shire. So, Emma won't let them down, that's for sure.
Lizette Witten on Lumix.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Lizette, but welcome Lizette and good luck with Katie.
Emma Harrison on Vintech.
No, again, not sure about Emma, but good luck Emma on the Vintech.
Emma Ball on Armarine Pittwater.
No,
Keats Thompson on Rag and Famish Hotel.
yeah, I know a bit about Keats. She actually is a very accomplished sailor as well, again from Cronulla. Keats,
See, the Cronulla invasion.
it's a Cronulla invasion, mate. It's takeover by stealth. No, Keats and my son Tom started sailing together. Keats grabbed Tom out of the Learn to Sail when he was 6 years old down at Cronulla, and they spent many years sailing around in a Manly Junior and flying a lever together. So, no, Keats is an excellent sailor. She'll be great.
And Anya Schroeder on The Oak.
Yeah, she's partner of Courtney. So, yeah, no, I'm not sure how much sailing she's done, but she's in for a baptism of fire today.
Beautiful day, really. Smooth water, no harbour traffic, no sunburn. Look on the bright side of life.
That is the optimistic way of looking at it.
Well, Steve, you know what it's like if you go to sea about 60 days in a row, as some of us sometimes have done, you look forward to an overcast day, don't you? I do anyway.
You do? No, I'm a sunshine guy, mate. Fair weather sailor, if ever there was one.
Oh, okay. Oh, dear.
So the breeze actually not filling in as much, Bucko.
No.
It's a modest, what do we got, 10?
Yeah, 12 perhaps, yeah. A little bit more wind on the right-hand side of the track, but the course very much along this southern side of the harbour, so probably going to pay, tide flooding, probably going to pay to stand out to the right going up the beat. And
Yeah.
perhaps down the middle coming back.
And they might also be able to lay down in one jibe too.
I think Doug was
There's a
talking
lot of-
about running it pretty much so a pretty straight leg up and a pretty straight run down, just to
Is that
take a
windward
bit of the
mark,
buckling and bruising out of them.
Jimmy?
I think that is our mark, Bucko, just to the
So they've put the windward
left
mark,
of,
it seems to us,
of Clark Island.
yeah, in the direction of Clark Island from where we are, so 280.
Pretty much so off the bow of the camera cat now.
Okay, so it's going to be a short race then.
That's what
Gonna be
Doug was
short.
Bit of a
hoping for.
sprint.
Well,
Okay.
we're running out of cameras, we're running out of electronics on here, Steve. So,
It's not about us though, Jimmy.
but well, we're trying to bring it to people, and we need to keep the show rolling.
Yeah, viewers, if the screen goes blank, we don't have to try and retrospectively explain what the problem is.
Yeah.
Just a fair bit of water around. Not too bad, but
Well,
I see the reason for the
we
wait.
were,
We're waiting for the
rigging up the camera cat in a monsoon this morning.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So just as a reminder, gentlemen, we're looking for 3 marks at the top. I can only see one up there, but
1, 2, 3. So just off the front of Ilve, Steve, there's one there.
Gotcha.
Just about to come into picture now, and then
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. So I think we're working up into Double Bay and running down to Rose Bay.
Yep. So he's definitely got the course set on the left side of the harbour.
We don't want to get in the ferry channel.
No, we're nowhere near the ferry channel.
Couldn't be any further left, could
We're
it?
very close to home too, which is probably strategically not a bad thing. Except, of course, the breeze goes left, which it appears to be doing now, Bucko. Could be a reach up and a reach back.
Yeah, she's just bent round to about 210, I think, there, Steve. Maybe 220.
That's the AP down.
220, perhaps. Ilvy coming towards... Ilvy, the last boat out, for a variety of reasons, primarily
Keeping up tradition, Buck.
because John O'Witty was here trying to
Trying to micromanage all our electronic problems.
blow the moisture out of the electronics on the good ship. Indeed.
Yeah, no, a thankless task really on a day like today, trying to wire up a boat in the torrential rain. So who do you like, Bucko? Who's your favourite?
Well, I'd be putting all my money on AOL.
Yeah, if they get round the corners all right, it's certainly a good bet for the punters. Quite a few punters on the ferry today, surprisingly.
Well, here's the problem, there's nothing else to do on a Sunday,
I don't know, a lounge and Netflix. That's a bit of fun.
Yeah, perhaps.
Trip to the movies?
No, to be fair, in Australia today, the Melbourne Grand Prix is on and it starts about 4 o'clock.
Yep.
The footy season is underway well, so there is actually rugby league and not yet AFL, but
I think the AFL starts next week.
that's correct. So we're in a sequence now.
Just going to pick up young Cooper.
We're aboard the committee vessel. Steve. Ooh, boys. Wow. A young man coming aboard the camera cat. No.
Postponement back up. Very serious sort of day. I think they're just waiting on the Ilve, Steve. I think might be the thing, obviously, with the sponsor on there.
Well, of all days, Jimmy, it's probably not a bad idea to wait a minute or two.
No.
Claire and Ilve have been long-term sponsors. Their
Great
support's
sponsors.
greatly appreciated. So, sure, the other queens won't mind waiting a minute or so.
Beautiful day to be on Sydney Harbour anyway, right?
Well, it is actually getting better. Come on, boys.
Well, people pay money for rainwater that's pure, Evian.
And if you're
Complexion's
looking,
always better after a day like today.
looking around there, the clouds are breaking up.
It is clear and sunny looking down towards Manly, like always clear and sunny down there.
Well,
Just not after a few beers.
Jones, if we could shift the race to Newcastle, it was everly sunny up there this morning, and in Melbourne it's a nice sunny day as well. So, just been a particular little concentration in the Sydney Basin, which does occasionally happen. Usually the rain is more prevalent south of Sydney near Wollongong at the high ground there, and north of Sydney up near Port Stephens high ground and hotter water, but a bit unusual. We've just had a little cell basically get trapped in just in the Sydney Basin, so.
It was almost like it was rotating over the top of us this morning, Bucko.
Exactly. I drove over from the North Shore and there was a foot of water on the road at the Roseville Bridge. Extraordinary. Plenty of smiles in the fleet, Steve.
Yeah, there is. That's Anya just waving to us there on the
Yeah.
Royal Oak Four Pines.
And actually, one of the best things about this day, and I reckon we should cover this, is each of the girls makes a short speech at the presentation, and it has been pretty entertaining in the past as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. No, it's really good to get their reflections on the day, let's put it that way.
I can't remember who it was. Somebody made quite a memorable speech about they thought they were going to die down the first reach.
I think we've all had that thought at some stage, but
Yeah. If you haven't had that thought and you're a skiff racer, you haven't skiff raced.
Yeah, that's right.
No, breeze nicely up. The Delzato and AOL be expected to lead, but Ilvy's got second rig, so Only 2 boats with big rig. The balance of the fleet, small rig.
I'll buck the trend, Bucko, and I'm going to go Dalzotto today.
Good on you.
Dalzotto. Yeah, go the Dalzotto. Let's hope so.
Off a pretty long mark. You might be a chance there,
Oh,
son.
yeah. Wild Jack at the helm, mate.
Yeah.
Got to love it.
So Steve, just a bit more pressure coming down now with the Ilby. 16, maybe nearly 14 anyway. 14.
Yeah, 14, 15, and it's going to be a good boat race.
Yep. Okay, signals are up.
We're into the 5.
Just got the boss of Aero Media going past, trying to give last minute instructions as to how we could possibly fix up the camera. So it is what it is today.
Inside sequence, probably should be concentrating on his race strategy, but there you go.
Well, that's Jono. He's been doing it the whole. He did
Just
that.
tell him that we've got the bilge pump, the bucket, the sponge, and the hairdryer, and it's still not dry. Okay.
And it's not going to be dry till next week.
No.
So that means next summer.
Yeah, it does mean next summer. So last race of the season, Bucko. Any reflections on the season?
All good. No, I've said enough about the season.
Oh, yeah, and for the viewers, you can hear the thoughts or listen to the thoughts or read the thoughts of the illustrious Andrew Buckland on the JJ on Sail World. It was a very illuminating article. I enjoyed it immensely, mate. Well done.
Well, that's good. The thing I thought was most pleasant was that Dave McDiarmid basically said the same thing.
Yeah, quite a few less words, I might say, but...
Well, you know when they conducted the interview, Steve, don't you?
Yeah.
And we did edit it a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great article for those who haven't already seen it. So, and there's some, some real home truths for the home fleet. I think there's a checklist of things that our fleet have to work on, and I think that the fleet would be do them well for their long-term prospects for next year to read it and address some of the issues and shortfalls.
Yeah. Steve, one thing that somebody had mentioned to me was that they established that the sail areas for the Kiwis was bigger than most of the Australian boats.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Well, there's been some espionage done about forestay length, I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, some of our boats have got long forestays as well, but...
Yeah, that's true, but for the,
For the average, yeah. Yeah, and that's possibly true, but I'm also told that, by some of the Kiwis, and we did a bit of checking, and they were pretty similar.
Were they? Okay. Well, that was, I think, against the previous generation mast, perhaps in some shape or form, but...
I think it's probably more relevance is your point about them using different sail designers in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that our guys might like to look at. I know some of our fleet have been using the Kiwi spinnaker shapes for a while.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, the spinnaker shape's quite a bit of divergence in the fleet. Doesn't seem to make as much difference as you might expect though, because they're operating at pretty low apparent wind speed, I guess. Anyway, here we go, guys. 2 minutes inside. 2 minutes. 150 perhaps. And the fleet. Wow. Well dispersed.
Two schools of thought. We've got some port tackers lined, the Smeg and the Ilve and the Dalzotto lining up on port at the other end.
Jimmy, you better call in the Dalzotto. Time to come this way.
The AOL's lining up as well, so... And at this end, we've got the Yandu, the Royal Oak, the Kitchen Maker, and the Armarine, and the Lumix coming back.
Yeah, still got 120, Steve, so anything could happen, but the left-hand end probably will pay, as long as there's enough wind over there.
Well, it gets you out, doesn't it, without attack? Because
Yeah.
The starboard tackers are going to end up in under the point here, and if you start on port, irrespective of how...
The appliance is online, Bucko. It's down there with the Dalzotto, so...
No. As you know, Eddie Van Munster, not afraid of a challenge.
Never.
Not at all. 40 seconds.
Who's going to spoil the party, boys? The Rag, Vintech? Oh, no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats looking to get across on port.
It's like the old match race. enter into the
Marine
gate.
About to go into irons here. Not a good time to do that.
25 seconds.
We're just off screen there.
Looking at the rag's struggling to cross the line there. So
Yeah, the poor tackers are going to win it here, guys. 15 seconds.
pull the trigger.
Vintech pretty early. Dalzotto aiming up. The Smeg coming at them. Oh, on the screen, we're a bit captured here by the windward end boats with...
Yeah, the port tackers have nailed it, really.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people can't be wrong. The rest, almost the majority of the fleet have flopped over, so... Just...
Yeah, I got it. I'm well aware of where everyone is.
So out of the blocks first, Jimmy's favourite, the Dalzotto. Vintech and the Smeg. Closely followed by the AOL, the Ilve and the Rag.
Dalzotto just ate it.
So haves and the have-nots, right?
What happened there, Jimmy? Did you see a bit of main sheet droppage, was it, or something?
I think one of those people up on the hill just closed their door, mate, and the breeze stopped.
And just seeing the benefit of the big rig there, the AOL just popped out straight over the top of Ilve and out from underneath the Rag. So in these really soft spots, as you would expect, the big rigs are dominating.
Yeah. Kurt putting plenty into the main sheet there. Yeah, big rig down to sort of one wire there, which means it's pretty light right where they are, but as we've noted, fair bit more breeze as you get off the shoreline, but the mark is up to the left, so eventually you've got to get there, but we would assume that these boats, an AOL probably leading, but would go all the way to the right-hand ley line, more or less.
Although the boats out in the harbour not doing, at the wrong end of the line, the Yandu, the Smeg and the QMC, not doing a bad job in more pressure out there, Bucko.
No, plenty of wind, and here goes appliances into the first puff clean out of double bay on the 3-2, 3-2-1 count. Just bogged down for a second. Vintech to the left of us, just out of shot, motoring away with second rig. Here goes the appliances now.
It's got ice in that water when it comes over the deck, doesn't it, Bucko?
So the Dalzotto with Corinne Fellman on board. The Vintech just leading the Dalzotto at the moment. So Jimmy looking good.
Oh, we can only do what we can do.
So the Vintech leads. Good job with the second rig. They got into the lane of wind.
So because we're down to one camera, we've got to try and get in as close as we can to give the viewers what we
So
can.
for the viewers, we're just having a bit of trouble. Our camera resources are a bit dusty today on account of the wet weather. So we've got to drive the camera boat very close to get anything that makes...
Considering during the JJs, I think we had 10 or 12 cameras. We're down to 1 today, so
The show,
no drone.
the show must go on, boys.
We make it go on.
We got the intrepid Michael Chittenden hanging out the side of the boat, directing as well as filming. Got the controls in his left hand and the camera in his right, and we're now with Yvette Heritage and Emma Sills on Quality Marine Clothing.
Four-hander, amazing.
Four-handed.
4 on the wire.
Yeah, I told you she was good.
Haven't seen that since C-Tech. Haven't seen that one since C-Tech, Bucko.
So what Jimmy's referring to is that C-Tech a couple of years ago turned up at the JoJo's with a 4-man crew. It seemed to work sometimes.
Yeah, last time we saw 4 on the wire was the Cool.
No, the
Michael Chapman,
yeah.
C-Tech, wasn't
C-Tech.
it? C-Tech a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The last 4-handed winner was a Thomas Camera in 1970.
So we're just on Woody and the Yandu at the moment. They're 3.5 strings. Woody isn't out yet. And heading up towards the leader now, because the rest of the fleet seems to have overlaid a little. It's the Smegglers. And we get a thumbs up there from Emma.
Where it all starts to unravel with the 3 boys, Steve.
It does, yep. The great equaliser. And I think the way the angle is at the moment, Bucko, they're going to struggle to lay to the bottom. Struggle to get to the bottom, I reckon. They get set now, they'll end up to the home.
And the camera cat, like every other race this year, first to the top mark.
This is where you'd expect the Dalzotto to come into play, Jimmy. That's why yours is a smart play, mate.
I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, so the Smeg will obviously be going to the far mark, the white mark. The Vintech doing a nice job around the first mark, so they are first around by.
It's clearing ourselves. We'll go the opposite way to the way they're going around the marks. So we've only got a camera on the starboard side.
Well, the appliances at full noise there.
Yeah. So for the viewers, just an update. Vintech's first around with their little rig. Spinnaker up, heading back downwind. The Dalzotto's second, the Quality Marine third. And then the appliances are online, who Chits is on with the camera now, is fourth.
Appliances online enjoying this. Downwind with a big rig. Chasing the pack. Overs to the first mark, but look like they can get themselves back into contention down here. Full pressure. Good wind coming out of Double Bay, and they'll be working on not getting up too high on this reach. Right,
2.5 strings, but they're going to need big Kurt out there if they're going to make the bottom. There they go.
Yeah, but they'll be happy to drop early in two-sail jibe, you know. To some degree, the risk is up on that.
Well, maybe this angle playing back into the hands of the Little Rig guys.
Yep, a little bit. Still, top 5, the two big rig boats are both in the top 5.
My sort of race, Bucko.
Right, reach.
Reach, reach.
Wow, the Vintech are off in the distance.
Just need the cheese and bickies and everything will be right.
Yeah, the Fintech fully lit up down there, got mapped towards the island. The Dalzotto hanging high, and got quality marine clothing, the Vet Heritage right in front of us here.
Steve, do you think we can send a memo to the Dalzotto, just ease a bit of bank?
Yeah, might have neglected to do that at the top mark.
Oh. Not looking pictures, here we go. Back
Can't see the screen. Are you good? Yeah. So we're on the quality marine clothing with Daniel McLaughlin, Emma, Cam McDonald and the Vet Heritage.
A bit dusty on Spinnaker Halyard hoist.
Yeah, a little bit short on the hoist there. Nice job,
Less
kids.
to pull down.
Oh, the Dalzotto, wow. Stop. Travelling with Yandu, pretty conservative drop at the bottom. Vintech around the mark first, not leading by much. Yandu, Spinnaker to bed.
Just looking back, Dalzotto just got hit by a big black one. They nearly tipped over. Luckily, still upright, still in there with a shot.
They've been a bit erratic, Jones.
So we've got Vincent with Emma Hammerson on board in the lead, and we've got Yandu with Helen Springer in second place. Just coming up to the mark now. Quality Marine claiming boy room. So nice work of that. And we've got Emma Sills on Quality Marine. Followed by Corinne Feldman on Dalzotto.
So the Dalzotto did themselves a bit of harm there. Jones have got the wing in the water and then nearly, went in the tide, and Lumix, I believe.
They're just playing to the handicap at the moment. Bucko, give them time. They'll be fine.
Righto. The Yandu. Yeah, back to big rig weather again. Steve. Raining enough now just to soften the breeze, yeah? Full overcast above us, so no squall action to speak of, just
And the Ilvy did all right out of that.
somehow.
Where's our Lara? Off our camera cat Lara. Where's she got to?
Had a shocker. Yeah, way back.
So she's definitely got a job back on the camera cat next year by the looks of it at this stage.
That's right. She absolutely. Don't give up your day job. Oh, I hope she wasn't in charge of the starting strategy, I tell you. Let's start at the boat like 30 seconds behind the line when the rest of the fleet is on port at the pin. And then continue on to the left-hand side to consolidate the loss. My goodness.
You're a harsh critic.
He watched, though. It was good.
Do you disagree, Bucko?
Oh, I'm not going to say anything. You've said it.
Consolidated last spot beautifully.
You've said enough.
Oh, you got a couple of swimmers. You got a. It's all right.
Go
She's
and visit
chipping
the
away.
people in the tide, eh?
There's no coming back from that.
This is all going to dictate. Absolutely. But she's done a great job for us all year, catching the drone and doing everything else. So. Royal Oak out of Bath. So for the viewers at home that don't know, we've obviously had a lot of electrical problems on board here today. We're down to one camera. Our comms might or might not be working, but we're giving it our best to try and bring it all to you. So just on appliances online there with Yandu and Dalzotto, and the little boat up in front in that picture that they're probably seeing at home, that's a 12-footer, so that's not in our race. Vintech. What I might do, I might cut down over the front of these guys so we can get them all on camera, and then we'll go chase after the Vintech.
Well, you know, the race is going to be over pretty promptly. It's a nice, easy course, but Vintech perhaps obeying to some degree what we thought before the start, where the guys who are a bit light normally are now well up to weight and pretty quick, yeah? The big rig boats, Vintech with little rig, Dalzotto and AOL probably now second, third, Yandu fourth. The two
Vintech presumably will go to one of the nearer marks, and then all they've got to do is hang on to the finish, Bucko.
Yeah, them and Dalzotto got some benefit there, and appliances, I think, the middle mark. So.
Just up here with Vintech.
Breeze actually going back to the right, Steve, too.
Yeah, it is.
So they will have to jibe on this run, so that might add action. A few jibes down the run might add to the excitement. No jibe on the first one, no.
Plastic off that? Yep. Yeah, you're right, Bucko. It makes it a little bit more of a work, and I think, to be fair to the start, it's probably what they'd intended the breeze direction to be when they set up the course.
There you go, got
Yeah, no.
Emma Harrison out on the wing beside you, Bucko. Turn around, Bucko. Got Emma Harrison out here on the wing. So
Good.
Yep.
Travelling a vector Vintech.
calling the shots.
All good.
Tim Westwood in the boat, Kirk Mitchell on the sheet, and
Probably the biggest bloke
sorry,
we've got on.
Dan Barnett on the sheet and Kirk on the tiller. Looks not a bad setup for the day, Bucko.
No, all good. Roaring along.
And it's really backing into the west.
Yep.
You'd be thinking about one there, wouldn't you?
Looking at that, you would, Jimmy. Just watch this. Well done.
Nice tack on the Vintech.
Definitely making our director Chits work today. He's got the only camera left, jumping from side to side.
Again, the show must go on.
Yeah, so for the viewers, we're down to one camera. Handheld Sony, marvellous.
Yep. We've actually got quite a good race on our hands now. We've got the Vintech with their little rig and the Dalzotto on the AOL on their big rig starting to make ground on them. She's going to be a nice little run to the finish, Bucko.
Well, it's a VMG run, so there'll be a bit of ground made by the big rigs. I think Dalzotto should be able to win from here, actually, Stu.
Absolutely.
That might be a good one.
Might be a good one. I think this is where the three-boy play. I mean, you'd think Dalzotto definitely going to the red and maybe Vintech going to the blue.
No, I think
Not sure.
I could make an executive decision for you and make Dalzotto go to red. Everyone else can go to the white mark.
Somebody got a bit lazy with a screwdriver on the Delzo. I need a couple of turns on the top 3 buttons.
Yeah, Captain Jack.
Oh, well.
We've got Josh Fellman there on the sheet and Timmy Narber in the bow.
The rig looks pretty good though.
It does, yeah. No,
Wind speed.
lining up to tack there onto the red marker.
I'm just going to stay on this leeward side of them because we're not far off the top mark, and then we can follow them around.
And we'd anticipate, Jimmy, that at least one of these boats will be setting at this mark, yeah?
Into a big
Well,
header, Jimmy.
both of them are tacked pretty much so on lay for the red mark, so...
Except the breeze just went hard right.
I know. The old flags on the bridge look, Bucko.
Yeah.
So we're normally well informed of what boats are going around what marks, but with everything going on the camera cat this morning, we're trying to at least get one camera and some headphones working and some microphones working. We forgot to pick up the run sheet of who goes to what mark. So
That's all right. I think we've got a fairly good indication. Oh, the Vintech not setting up for attack, but yeah.
hey,
Hey, Jimmy.
Told you I made an
Looking
executive
good.
decision. Now all Jack's got to do is keep the thing upright for me.
Standing around in the rain this morning has been good for your brain, has it, mate?
You wouldn't believe how good it's been.
You haven't put the commentator's curse on them, have you, mate?
Well, I'm hoping all my curses I've put on everyone this season, it's come back the other way for me, Steve, and hopefully Jack, and who's on there with Jack? You got Corinne Feldman, right?
Yeah, Corinne Feldman, Josh
Yep.
Feldman and Timmy Narber.
There you go.
Yeah, and look, they're out of view, but you might just be able to see their spinnaker going up. They've got quite a healthy lead. They should be good from here, Bucko.
Yeah, well, the Delzo should be able to win, subject to accidents and incidents, mate.
Another sponsor has been with the club for a few years, the Dalzotto, yep.
Fantastic, yeah, no, fantastic sponsor.
Not too far away.
The Vintech second around.
Better get down to Dalzotto, we'll get them across the line.
A little bit of close on-board action there. Michael Chittenden almost boarding with the camera.
That's how we love it.
Excellent driving again from our...
In kilos words, mate, if I don't hit one a year, I'm not trying hard enough. So that was about as close as I want to come. That's as close as I want to come, I'll tell you. No, the heart rate didn't go. Just check the monitor. There you go, heart rate's still constant.
98, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I'm chasing after the mighty Dalzotto machine, and then we'll come back through the fleet and pick up a few of the other people.
Yeah, good idea.
What mark was the catcher maker to go around, Steve? We could have...
Skip
Giant
fleet.
capsize opportunity. They pulled it off though.
Only been a short job though, right, Bucko?
Should be one more jibe to the finish. So just a 2 lap of the day. Nice and short.
Right up to the finish.
Come on, Josh, pull that mainsail on, mate. You didn't get the memo about the Vang at the top mark either.
No. No, there's some little issue. I'm not sure they're working on something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Mum gets a mouthful of spinnaker there.
Wow. Untidy.
I might suggest there's an element of nerves here, Bucko.
Stage fright. Pretty early drive, but anyway, they needed probably to do that.
They've got a pretty healthy lead. They can afford to.
You're right. Bit of pressure coming out of Double Bay now. We'll just press them down nicely.
Here we go. Corinne's out on the wire. Looking good.
Do you wear steering gloves back in your day?
I did, actually. Yeah, no, I got called soft all the time for it, but, you know, being a happily married man, Jimmy, I wear my wedding ring the whole time, and I had quite a scary incident, you know, when I first started sailing. I got my ring caught, almost lost my finger, so I thought I'm just going to wear my gloves from now on. So, you know, successive crews gave me a hard time about never touching a rope and still wearing gloves. But I like my fingers.
Yeah. Steve, that'd be a pretty durable joke too, wouldn't it?
I was happy to cop it, Bucko.
In a good cause, mate.
Be good to finish life with all your digits. So, yeah, Jack. Wear those gloves with pride, mate. So the Dalzotto just might even be able to hear a bit of chat on board. Josh Feldman discussing tactics. They're lining up the finish line, but they might. It looks like they're going to jibe twice.
One more jibe or two more now?
I think two more now.
They want to get out of the Leah Point Piper here.
Yeah.
Maybe just go to the lay line and one more.
Setting up for a jibe here. Oh, that's brave.
Yeah,
You'd have to go to a lay, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so that's what they'll be trying to do now.
No, they're going for it early.
Yeah, there's not a lot of joy ahead in terms of pressure, so they might be able to soak down to the line. Again, the viewers at home, they've got about a 200 metre lead, so
good pressure coming and ahead of them. I think they'll get there. Or close to. No, one more drive. Okay. Far off though.
So what a proud mother-son moment. Mum and the son sailing together and doing a lovely job. They're lining up for the pin.
Very quietly talking to Mum. The nerves are on.
Yeah, not so quiet. Come on, boys.
Oh,
One more.
Early on the jibe, but anyway.
No, that's a nice job. That'll do. That'll get them there. Come on, Josh. Pull that main on.
Yeah.
And they've got a big supporter base on the ferry today, I'll have you know, so expect a bit of noise.
Don't celebrate too early, Jack. Get across the line first, son. There you go.
Great stuff.
Well done, the Dalzotto.
I'll collect beers tonight, Bucko. Thank you. I'll collect my beers tonight off you.
Yep,
I didn't place a bet.
I did. I'll buy you a beer, Jimmy.
I'll get second, Jimmy. How about that?
So Corinne Feldman, 2019 Queen of the Harbour. Well done. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
So
Well comes through for second. So they've made up a lot on the Vintech there. Big rig, big sales, win big races. Here
they
we
do.
This is the big race of the year, right? It's a bit locked out here by Quality Marine Clothing. So second home, Appliances Online. Third will be Vintech. And fourth will be Quality Marine Clothing with two girls on board.
Yeah, nice job. Emma and Yvette.
Yeah.
Very well done. Very, not far off second with a little rig. Tactical jibe to the finish there.
So we'll, how about we run back up and we'll try and grab a couple of the others to come down with and see what we can do there, yeah?
Yep.
So there's the first four. The next boat's in order roughly. Dragon Family Sylvie, Yandu, Armory Pitwater. Megan Asco having a tough time.
Well, they would have had to go all the way up to the furthest mark, right, Buckos?
That's correct.
not a joyous day when that happens. So we're just shooting back up, and I might. Hey? Yep, we'll hill in here beside Ilvay and Yandu and see what we can make of them. Turn the USS Enterprise around as quick as I can. Isn't the easiest. Almost need forward canards put on it.
Claire Kowalski giving us a wave there in a distinctive blue rash shirt. She looks very comfortable on the wire, Bucko.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Jono and Pedro sizing up the pin.
Where's Woody? Anyone?
Dead behind you.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable.
We'll have to
in
rock
that place.
anyway,
They're
so.
setting up the jibe now.
Oh, at a 12 tack right here in front of me. Very nice comments by the 12.
We almost,
On
you almost,
starboard tack.
you almost got your second quota for the year.
Oh, well, he's-
The Ilvay crosses. Nice day for those guys.
Yeah, good day for the Ilvay. And Keats Thompson on the rag and Famish just in front of us there.
Yep.
Yandu next. Marine after them. Setting up the jibe, final jibe to the finish. They've accounted for the ASCO, or probably accounted for the ASCO satisfactorily. Rolling.
Might have gone a little bit early there.
Yeah, no, it looked like there was a lot of wind coming, but maybe, oh no, the puff just got to them now, they'll be right. Might be another little jibe just at the dead. All good?
Well, that's a big smile, Bucko.
Great stuff.
It's a wave.
All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up, Buck.
We've got 2 boats on the course. Look at Lara. I think she's
Yeah.
steering.
Well,
Go up and chase
That's the,
after our drone catcher.
Prodigy
Yeah.
cunt. We can just perhaps bring you the last 2 boats. Lumix and the Kitchen Maker in a battle for
Last.
spoon, brother.
There'll be a bit of chatter around the kitchen room table breakfast, I tell you, because Lara, Izzy won last year.
Yeah.
No pressure, Lara.
Oh, from one end to the other.
Oh, look, if she's had a drive of an 18, you know, it's every girl's dream, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, when you live in the Quigley household.
Absolutely. No, I'm very proud of her.
I rather fancy when you saw the Lumix in the tide earlier, so I'm suspecting that your daughter's been on the riding levers too.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, we didn't pick it up, but Lumix had a quick swim.
Yeah, no, Lumix is actually behind them, so.
Oh, up there, okay. Sorry,
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking that was the Royal Oak 4 Pines. Sorry, the Lumix has got a wooden spoon. Touch wood. The kitchen maker.
Yeah, so there you go. Lara steering, doing a lovely job.
Yeah.
Yeah, one jibe, one and in.
One and in, son. Yeah, keep it simple.
Andrew Isles on the up the bow from Manly Skiff Club.
That's right, yep.
Here we go. Not the best, but they can at least get to the line without a further jibe, so all good.
Big smile there, mate, so doesn't matter where they finish, does it? As long as they come in smiling.
No, it never matters.
Oh, goodness. Steering from the wire. Here we go. What'd you say before?
Oh, like a natural, Steve.
Oh, there you go, Mum. Look at that. Thrill of a lifetime.
16 foot.
Yeah.
Good.
There you go. So she's first queen steerer.
Is that right?
We put it that way?
Okay, fair enough.
Big smile.
Big smile. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Alright.
Well done, the kitchen maker.
Okay. So viewers, on behalf of the Camera Cat team, this is the end of our season as well. No girls on our boat today because they were busy doing other things,
Yeah.
steering the kitchen maker, amongst other things. And thank you to all the viewers who supported us through the year and your positive comments and feedback in relation to the coverage. The Pat and Chits, great stuff today in extremely inclement weather. Jimmy takes the biscuits for the pick the podium.
Absolutely.
Steve, thanks for your contribution today. Camera Cat standing by.
We've got young Cooper down the
And
back. You
young-
can't forget young Cooper. He was
Yep.
the star of the
Cooper,
show after the
star of the
JJs. Went for a
show,
ride
yeah.
on the appliances online with Brett.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
So
We hope you can join us beginning of the season next summer, which coincides with daylight saving in October. Camera Cat over and out.
Well done, Bucko.
Keep your hand over there. Very merciful.